Hello everyone and welcome back to the Robo Samurai channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing a Transformer. Actually, a set of two Transformers. This is Optimus Primal and Rattrap. So yeah, these are really kind of cool, but let's take a look at this box. Let's move you guys aside and we'll take a quick look at the box. Whoa, here we go. Stay there, Rattrap, good. So we've got this is what the box looks like. It is your Netflix box. It's got a picture of Optimus Primal's gorilla mode. And then you have the side, which is the same picture, and you got all the stuff on the back. Very cool stuff. Now, one thing I'm going to say is that I hope that Hasbro does this more often, where you actually have two figures in a box, and not just a figure and a couple of like Target Masters or whatever, having two figures in the same box, that's a great deal. So I think that's great. Now, this is how I got it. I did purchase this from Walmart online, and yeah, it did arrive a little smashed. So you can see here the damage on the box and all that. But yeah, so this is about 48, 50 bucks, but I think it's well worth it to get two figures. I'd rather get two figures than just one and a bunch of accessories. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, I have previously reviewed this mold in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee series. So that is, and this, instead of it being the Predacon version of him, this is the Maximal version. So let's go on ahead and we'll set Rattrap aside over here. He'll hang out, and we'll take a look at this figure. He has some fantastic articulation. And he comes with his two swords, and I like the coloring on him. Now, one thing that I don't see, I'm going to go ahead and take these off here, and they hold in very securely. You do see he has on his wrists, he's got the finger articulation. That's about it. So when you put this in, it's like these swords into his hand, it's like they almost kind of snap in. You can kind of shove them in from the top there if you want to. So anyway, regardless, let's take a close-up of the head here, and you can see they have the slit in the mouth plate, where you can see his mouth. So that's kind of cool. I don't see any Maximal symbols on his chest, which is an interesting choice. Maybe you ought to put a really tiny one right there. But yeah, you can see the grays. This piece here on both of my figures, with the Nemesis Primal and this Optimus Primal, this is loose, but that's okay. It really doesn't bug me too much. So you can see the reds and the whites and all that. And he's got some good paint down here. And you can see the back here and all of the different pieces. Now, he does have some really good elbow bend here, some bicep swivel, and then his wrists, I do believe they do swivel. Yes, they do. Whoops, actually, it's on a mushroom peg. So you can get some swivel action out of it, but make sure that it's nice and secure there. All right, so there's that. He does have waist swivel. Waist swivel here. He's got the knee bend. And this thing here, actually, this technically is not the knee bend, because you see how this tab's in here? Although you can use it for that, right? So this tab here is supposed to fit into the little slot here. It's kind of hard to see on this plastic, but it's supposed to fit in here. And then if you do that just right, it should look like this. Now, that's where his proper knee bend should be. So, but if you wanted to do more, you can bend that out more, and that's a nice feature. So so there you go. And so let's take a look here. On his forearms, he does have his little cannons here, so you can push down on the back, and then you can have them, and they just kind of sit there just like that. And nice. And so you can kind of swivel that back and forth, aim it any way you want. So he can kind of go and do this number. Maybe you don't want to be standing in his line of fire when he does this, but hey, There, it is totally possible for Optimus Primal to do that. So, yeah, you can get some really cool poses with that. So, nice, very cool. Now, let's also talk about his head. He's got, his head is on a ball joint. He got a little up and down motion, got left and right. He can turn his head all the way around, be a little poltergeisty. There we go. So, and then his eyes are painted red. And let's see here, a bit closer here, you can kind of see how this looks. Now these here cannons can also be stored inside, but they also kind of swivel up and down like that, so you can aim them in different directions if you felt like it, you know. Maybe he's got a target back there, whatever, and all that. So that's what he looks like. So we'll give him his turn this way, and then we'll close these up. So yeah. And to compare him with the Nemesis Primal mold, here he is. So here's what they look like. So it's kind of a comparison. Let me collapse his guns in there. And you can kind of see some of the color differences. And first I wasn't going to get this 2-pack of figures, but yeah, what a great deal, huh? So you can see some of the differences here. The Prime helmet is pretty much the same except for the mouth plate. And then if you look at Nemesis Primal, you can see that his eyes are more squinted there. But all the other details are around that. It's just this face piece and the face plate. From the eyes down to the faceplate, that is a major big difference here. The rest of it is pretty much the same. So, I don't know if that's visible here. There you go. So you can kind of see it there. So, pretty nice. But you do see they do have a Predacon symbol here on the Nemesis Primal, which is always an interesting choice. They could have put a Maximal symbol on him in that same area. Probably have to get a repro label or something like that. So there we go. Very cool, very cool. These swords, just like on Nemesis Primal, will store on his back with these tabs here in the slots. So you can kind of just push them in there, and there you got that going on. So neat. And they store pretty well. If you also alternatively do not want the guns out, it's as simple as opening up this entire back piece here and simply folding these in just like that. 1 and 2. All right, so yeah, it's kind of cool. Close that up, and there we go. So nice. So there's Optimus Primal and his 2 swords. So let's get to transforming him, and then we'll get to Rattrap right over there. So the first thing I'm going to do is something I just did, which is open up this piece right here. And if I didn't mention this before, he kind of has some of these, they're almost like partial butterfly joints here. So he can do some interesting things like this. So, yep. So looks pretty good though. So, but he doesn't get much back there. It does go all the way around, and yes, he can do the squats in any way you need him to. And then this is, of course, he's got a bit of a calf swivel here, but it only goes that far. So, okay, now back down to the transformation. Let's do that. Okay, so I said pull this open, and go on ahead and flip this plate all the way around, just like that. And then we're going to take this here, pull it up, turn it around 180 degrees, flip up the gorilla head, and then swivel it like this. Then go on ahead and close it back down here. You want to fold this down, the gorilla head, so it's like that, and then go like this. Now, there's that. Now, if you wanted to, you could transform him the rest of the way in gorilla mode, and you can have him standing that way. So you could turn. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to swivel at his waist 180 degrees, and then we're going to collapse these shoulders like so. And I think, did I do it right? Yeah, I did. So Looks like it is, so yeah, you can do that. I believe this way. Yeah. So, alright. So the next part is to swivel this around, and then we are going to take the arms and pivot them this way towards the front. And I go on ahead and I open these up just like that. Now we'll take this piece here, tabs into his back here. So I'm going to take that and flip it around like this. Okay. And then we're going to take the legs and we want to push these robot feet up. And then we're going to take this and bring it down. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We'll flip those down. Now, this is going to go back here, and you want to straighten out these pieces so that they all kind of follow the back here. And this does not tab in to my knowledge, so I just make the best I can. Make do the best I can with this. So let's see here. Just make sure it's straight, kind of like that. These are folded up, and his paws here, they have like a tilt forward, so you could tilt them forward a little bit. Just depends on how you want him posed, and then you can bring up his head like this. And there, let's see here. So I like to make sure that these are all kind of lined up a little bit. So these should fit into here. So let's take this. Remember how I told you about that tab? Yeah. You just want to bend that forward enough so that it's like this, and do the same thing for this side. It shouldn't be tabbed in, but it should be kind of even with this other side, and there. So you should be able to pretty much cover up that there. And as you can see, there's no real tab points on the inside here. So that's pretty much the inside. You just want to make it look as neat and as good as possible. You know, you can try to swivel these out, but it's just a matter of adjusting it to how you want it posed while he's in his alt mode. So, and there it is there. You may want to have him like this, which is always an option, and you still have the option to store his swords on his back in the same slots that I showed you earlier. So you've got this and this here, and you could have it like this. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Oh yeah, make sure this is tilted up. That's part of his tummy here, or his belly. Okay, so yeah, you can have him like this. His head, you can turn it on his side, and there, or something like that. You know, and have him kind of giving you the confused dog look, or the confused gorilla look in this case. So there it is. All right, so let's take these off, and you know, if you want to straighten these out, and then just kind of do the whole, hey, he's standing up, you can do that there, and he can hold all of his accessories like he did before. But yeah, this is a pretty good alt mode, and I think it's not bad for what we have, and definitely good at this price point. So that is Optimus Primal. I'm going to go on ahead and store these on here, and then we're going to take a quick look at Rattrap, which is probably the best accessory I've seen come with a Transformer in a while in a pack like this. As I was mentioning earlier, they should do that more often. This is the Netflix branded version, so I don't know some of the paint differences, but they look pretty good to me. Alright, let's take a look at Rattrap, and here he is. He's very much like his cartoon self. Looks very cool. His head, yeah, very Rattrappy. He does not get any up and down, but he can swivel left and right. So there's that, but I can't even turn it all the way around. I should be able to, and I'll show you that in a bit. Yeah, so you can, but I don't like forcing it. He's got his gun, and it's a pretty nice little gun. And this will also store in his beast mode. So he does have he's got knee bend. He has he has a bend here and a knee bend, so he can get some really good motion out of that. His ankles tilt. His feet are on ball pegs, so you can kind of do this number here. So you can do all that. Stand on the side, whatever it takes. Get me back in focus here. There we go. Yeah, so, and then he holds his weapon just fine and everything else. Here's what he looks like from the back. A lot of folded up rat pieces, so not much else we can say there. But yeah, he looks pretty good. Now on this one, I know this white nose thing here, and which will show off in beast mode, is one of the differences, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, let's go on ahead and get him transformed. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn his head all the way around 180, so it's like this, and you can see some of that fur on the back of his head. That should all match up and get it ready for transformation. Then we're going to go on ahead and lift this up so we can push this down, and these are on like ratchets. So pull it this way, but you're going to need to pull this backpack away on this double hinge. Okay, so, and then this here, this tail piece here has a clip on it, and you can see it right there that clips it kind of to the back there and secures it. So you want to unclip it and then fold this out, and then we're going to do this where we fold this in, and now he looks like a rat rug. Anyway, no, anyway, so he looks like this. So I can kind of put the tail in kind of a position like this, but we're going to have to make some space for this next piece of transformation. So I'm going to take these, and these here have the arms here. They're going to pull these down. It's kind of an interesting step, actually. And I think we're going to turn them around so that the ball joints are facing towards us. So I'm going ahead and do that. And if you see, there's a slot right here and there's a tab there. We're going to be tabbing that into that. So let's just do that, and that'll help us secure it in the next steps ahead here. So there we go. That, just like that. Okay. We're going to turn these arms like this. And by the way, if you didn't notice, on his arms he has some maximal symbols. Let's see here. There's one there. There's one there. Alright, so now we're going to fold this down like this, so you can see the back of his head kind of matches there. And then we're going to fold these down and in. And actually, we need to take these here before we do that. Let's take these here, get the feet situated so that they are facing out like this. So knees down like this, the feet like this, and we really want this to kind of look like that. Okay, so we got this here, and then we've got this. It's got a little hinge inside that knee, and we want it to be like that. Okay, now we're going to take this and fold this over here. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're going to fold this. So these arms have to go underneath the legs. So when you fold the the rat together like this, it should do that. Okay. Now remember I told you make sure these here are facing this way, because we're going to tab those into the arms. See, the arms have slots, and there's two pegs there. So we're going to push that in and push that in. So what you should have is something that looks like this in the back, where you can kind of see his fingers kind of wrapping around here. And then we're going to take his legs, and we're going to put this into here. Now you see what I just did there? So the knee's going to go forward like that, and they're going to be, the ball joints are going to be facing in that direction. And then we're going to turn this up, and then this, technically, this little tabish area is supposed to fit in this. It doesn't really tab in, it just kind of holds in. So there's that. And then you want to turn the rat feet forward. 1 and 2. And there you go. That's that. So, if you tab in everything and everything lines up, you should have yourself a rat trap in beast mode. And this is what he looks like. There he is. And you can see some of the detailing there. Let's see here. You can. These are always these legs and these leg casts are always kind of an interesting thing for me to fiddle with, but you can kind of see what he looks like. And this is, like I said, that white nose is something that is on the Walmart version. Oh, by the way, these calves here, I'm sorry, the robot mode calves tab into here. If you look here, so you need to push those into the calves. Those tabs will push into there. That'll further secure the figure. So I forgot to mention that. But there, see, kind of that's it. So you should have something that looks like this from the underside and this from the top. A little panely, but not too bad for Beast Wars or a Kingdom Beast figure. So I kind of like it. And I think that, oh yeah, by the way, you can take his gun and you'll see that there is a slot right there. I think it's this one here. So it can tab into the side here. You can tab it on this side and the handle will be up, or you can tab it on this side and the handle will be down. So I think most of the product shots show that it's like this. Okay, so there's that. And here he is right next to Optimus Primal. So we can do it like this, or we can have him kind of standing on his, or like this here and that there. So you can do that number. Whoops. Let's see if we can't straighten this out again. All right, there. That's what I like to see. Kind of like that. Okay. So yeah, there you go. There's those two, and yeah, so this is a pretty decent set, and for the value, it's a really good value. I can't compare the other color of the other release for Kingdom for Optimus Primal, but if you didn't buy Optimus Primal nor Rat Trap, buying it in this set, it's probably pretty good. And I think that the colors are really decent. They seem to match the show and all that. So that's what we got going on here. So yeah, if you're a big fan of the show, you might want to get these. You know, either Transformers War for Cybertron: The Kingdom, or Beast Wars, because I think this really does kind of match a lot. Well, it matches the toy shots that you see in the TV series. Anyway, so that's what we got going on here. I thank you for joining me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hey, if you can, subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much.